here in Maldives, the same Maldives that Nobel Peace Prize winner Al Gore said was going to be underwater in 2012. I haven't been here for 15, 18 years, but it's still not underwater. And he got what, 1.5, $2 million for the Peace Prize as an environmentalist. If you win the Nobel Peace Prize, you should be at least a little bit correct in what you're saying. He shared it with IPCC. IPCC now is, well, they're very hot. They take billions in donations. And Al Gore actually, when he left politics, he had $1.9 million in the bank, according to Wikipedia. He now has more than $300 million. It's not bad turning into an environmentalist, especially one with, as you can see, not telling the truth. I've never seen Al Gore go out and say, well, sorry, Maldives didn't go underwater. There's other cities. I think the only city underwater is Amsterdam or Rotterdam, but they've been underwater for the last, I don't know, thousands of years. All the coastal cities was in danger. Nothing happened. So I said already 2005, after I was here the first time, that it ain't gonna happen. And I was right. So I urged the Nobel Peace Prize people, the committee or however they do it, they can send me a letter and I'll come and pick up the prize for 2019 or, yeah, it must be 2019. It hasn't been given out yet. And I was right, Al Gore was wrong. So why couldn't I get a prize? I can have a lot of fun with nearly $2 million. And Al Gore don't need it, he could pay it back, because he got 300 million in the piggy bank at the moment. Being an environmentalist, it's not bad. They said he did a couple of sub-investments as well, but, you know, talk shit is also a good way of making money. I think we all should be very cautious about climate and environment, which a lot of people don't know the difference between climate and environment anyway. But this propaganda right now, and this scaring people, and climate scare and whatever is going on around the world, people don't want to fly and we should take less holidays, it's all bullshit. The world will continue to go around for as long as we live, our children live, our grandchildren lives. It is just things go up, things go down, that's normal. And what we're focusing on now is purely taxing people to death in the name of the climate. I saw the Swedish finance minister the other day. She said, oh, we're going to need more taxes from companies for whatever, garbage, or it's garbage what she's talking about. The thing is, the taxes she collects, they don't go to environment, they go to mass immigration. When you immigrate more people, you get more garbage, you get more waste, so you're actually creating more impact on the environment. Everybody should be cautious. I myself, I have solar panels in my house. I haven't paid an electrical bill since 2014. Is that environmental or climate friendly? I don't know. My solar panels are made in China, using a lot of electricity from coal-fired power plants, using cheap labor. Then they're taken to the shipping lines by diesel fumed trucks. Then the cargo ship is run on bunker fuel, and then another diesel truck. So the life expectancy, they say 25 years on my solar panel. They say I got 15 years out of them. Are they environmental friendly, climate friendly, or just friendly for my conscience and my wallet, of course, because I don't pay for electricity. If you put in all these bits and pieces together, I'm not sure solar panel or wind panel or whatever is environmental friendly or climate friendly. It sounds good though. We have a minister in Sweden. She's actually the vice prime minister. A total incompetent woman. It's not because she's a woman. Her peer is a man, and he's even worse. I mean, he's so dumb. I can't even explain it. I mean, you listen to him, you think you've gone into a mental hospital or watching One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This Green Party, Environment Party, we call them Environment Talibans because they have no idea. They just want to destroy, destroy, and destroy and go back to Stone Age. They cry when we stop mass immigration. They cry when a petrol-fueled car starts. What they don't cry about is the 20-year-olds in the mines in Congo who's digging up this cobalt and all these things needed for batteries. I heard the life expectancy in the mine workers in Congo is 26 years old. They don't cry about that. But 10 years ago they did cry when it was African poor people who was chopping up chocolate for our chocolate bars. That was a big thing because we couldn't have child labor. I don't know what is child labor, but you're a child until you're 18. Except in Sweden, you can be 45, 50 years old. If you're an immigrant, you're still a child. But when I went to school, I was forced to work. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. I had no option. First, the school forced us to work. That was part of our curriculum. And then, if you wanted to have a bit of money in your pocket, you had no option. But when somebody works in Africa, it's horrible, chopping up chocolate to send maybe their sister or brothers to school. Explain that to me, Isabella Lövin, you Vice Prime Minister of Sweden. Incompetent, totally incompetent, embarrassment for an advanced country like Sweden. Now, we have these scooters in Sweden, which is run by electricity. They don't last. They take a toll on the environment and the climate to be produced. The Green Party don't care. They just want to see anything electricity because they say, oh, this is great. And the electricity we use now, because we don't have electricity enough in Sweden, we buy coal produced electricity from Germany. Because the Green Party, yeah, I mean, nobody hardly believes this, but they close down the power. They want to close down the nuclear power plants. For what reason? Well, only they could know. That's how they are, and that's what's going on. And the German professor, I read it in one of the newspapers on the aircraft. He said electricity-fueled car needs 300,000 kilometers to be environmental friendly compared to a fossil-fueled car. And the batteries, they last 100 to 150,000 kilometers. Then you got to change them. In Sweden, don't have any whatsoever facilities to recycle the car batteries. So how can this be environmental friendly? Well, maybe to run, but not to build, not to produce. But the Green Taliban wouldn't understand that, because they don't care. They're an extremist party that in most countries will be outlawed, and the people will probably be jailed. Anyway, I'm going to go swimming. This is the Maldives. As you can see, I'm not standing in water. It's just, anybody could explain why it's not underwater and inhabitable. I would listen. Al Gore, maybe he could start going out and make a thing about that, because he was the one who got $1.52 million from the Nobel Peace Committee. And if I were Alfred Nobel, I would turn around in my grave at the moment As the year after, in 2007, Al Gore got his prize together with IPCC, which IPCC is very hot now, even though they were part of this complete lie. In 2008, Barack Obama got the Peace Prize after he'd been president for 5 days. He started more wars than anybody else after that. Is that what us Swedish, who's proud of Alfred Nobel, is that how deep down it's gone? I know it's the Norwegians who gives out the Peace Prize, but Peace Prize environmentalists that makes $300 million in a couple of years, and who basically lies, and he gets the mainstream media to jump on the bandwagon, and he don't even have to explain it. I don't get that, but anyway, this is the beautiful Maldives. And it's exactly like Koh Samui and Koh Samet was in Thailand in the late 80s, early 90s. Quiet, clean, peaceful, sustainable development, beautiful water, nice people. And I hope it will stay this, because probably there will be environmentalists watching this who will go out and say, well, in 10 years it'll be underwater. I'll just give 2 examples. Last month, this Green Party Taliban, Isabella Lövin, the Vice Prime Minister of Sweden, she said, oh, we have only 10 years before the earth is going under. Well, 5 years ago she said 10 years also, and we still have 10 years. So wouldn't she last month gone out and said, well, we have only 5 years left, because we had 10 years 5 years ago. And in one of the local newspapers here on this island this morning, I read Prince Charles, the first in line of the British throne. He went out and said, oh, we got to do something, because we got only 10 years to go before it's too late. 10 years, is that something that you have to say? Is that mainstream media's, you know, if you don't say 10 years, it won't put you in the newspapers, it won't put you on TV. You have to say 10 years. And in 1972, Swedish newspaper Expressen went out and said, we have only 10 years. That was in 1972. That's, what, 47 years ago? No. The environment and the climate at the moment is only one thing, and that's the mighty dollar and money. Sweden, now the finance minister was out the other day. She said, oh, we're going to tax harder on whatever. There was some new thing she came up with, has to do with the environment. Fine, if the money went to develop new, more clean, better garbage, better electricity, whatever, to help the environment. But no, the money goes to mass immigration. Mass immigration means more people in Sweden, means the worse for the environment, and eventually worse for the climate. But the taxes will solve all the environmental problems. I don't think so. It's only money, money, and money. And it's very sad that most people, they read the mainstream media and they believe in this bullshit. We had, when I grew up, the king was out on TV. He said 1 liter a day. It's a very famous thing back in the late 70s, early 80s. So we, that time, 8 million people in Sweden. 1 liter a day meant you picked up one, and 8 million people, that was 8 million liters, chewing gum or plastic, paper, whatever you found on the street. And Sweden at that time was very clean. Today, with mass immigration, you walk in Stockholm, it looks like a third world city early in the morning, because we've taken in people who don't care about the environment. They care about social security, stay home, chew whatever this tobacco, cut, smoke cigarettes, drink coffee. They don't work, they don't do nothing. And it looks like a war zone when I walk early in the morning. But government don't do nothing about that. There's no more 1 liter a day. There's not even 1 liter. But they can't tax people not picking up papers on the street. It's very sad to see. And sadly, a lot of other countries are the same. So I'm going swimming in the beautiful island of Maldives. Have a good day.